And hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pumpkin Copter Cast, the only video game show. So today, I'm joined by Hunter and Eleanor of Channel 1990X.
Hello.
Hello.
So we start with just a brief introductionals about you two.
Do you want to go first?
You go.
You go.
You're the brand ambassador.
I'm not the brand ambassador. Technically, Hunter started it.
Yeah.
I just took control.
Rebranded everything.
Yes.
So we're Channel 1990X. We make weird stuff on the internet, mostly just streams at current, but it's gonna get weird. Been doing it for a while. But it's just fun. It's fun to talk about video games. It's fun to talk about stuff and hang out with people. And that's just what we do. And we're trying to bring back that hashtag aesthetic while still being in the future, but like the future you thought it would be in like
2002.
Well, like 2001.
Like 2001?
Yeah, pre 9/11.
Pre 9/11.
When we were hopeful. So that's about it. Yeah. We're just a couple of doofuses on the internet that make content that we hope makes you go,
or ill.
Okay. So, when did the two of you first discover video games?
For me, pretty much forever. It's just been in my house. We always had a Sega Genesis. For some reason, we were a Sega house. I don't know why. Like, we didn't choose. I didn't know an SNES was a thing for like a while, just because it was. I never saw one. But it just appeared. It was a thing that's always been around. What about you?
Well, mine requires a little bit of context. So I grew up in a town that had like 200 people in it. And of course, all the kids were kind of like raised together in our neighborhood. So each of us kind of had our own video game consoles, but it was like collective. So growing up, I had like a really, really big range of different things to play on. So like I would go over to Travis's house and play SNES, or I'd go across the street and play Genesis with my friend Nicole. And I had DOS games and stuff at home, and it was just, it's kind of like Hunter. It's always been a part of my life, but I don't really have like one thing that I latched onto when I was a kid because I was just so surrounded by it in this weird collective way. Yeah. So,
because I mean, even though it was like a Genesis for me, we always had a PC. So even though I never played DOS games, we were very early adopters of the internet. So I was on that Flash game life, bruh. It was my bread and butter being on Albino Black Sheep and everything. It was great. But other than that, it was just like Genesis.
And we never had the internet because we live in the middle of nowhere. So like I had my consoles basically, and my first console that was actually mine was my PlayStation 1. And that makes a lot of sense on why I gravitate to the things that I like now. So
okay. So what was your favorite game and or games growing up?
Well, my favorite game was No One Can Stop Mr. Domino. It's a game that I still to this day play. I can play it like the back of my hand. I mean, it's a bargain bin title. Like, I swear my parents probably bought it for like $10 just as a stocking stuffer. But it was one of the first games that I had for my PlayStation. And I played the hell out of it. And it's got such a neat aesthetic to it. It's got really good, tight gameplay. It's a frustrating game. It's a very hard game, but it's rewarding when you can actually sit there and and beat it. And I mean, you can play through it in 40 minutes, but if you can do that without dying, you feel like, you've conquered the world.
You're the best.
Yeah.
It's the hardest game that she's ever showed me. For me, it was Pac-Man 2 The Adventure.
Blah, 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 blah.
I played it a lot with my sister. It's not a good game.
No, I
It's-
used to play it with my cousins too.
Yeah, like
And when I found out Hunter also played this game a lot growing up, I knew like, okay, we're gonna get married.
yeah,
So
because we didn't even talk about the game. We both made the la la la.
because whenever he freaks out, like
Yeah.
he goes "Rah, rah," like and
Yeah,
and we both like pick that up from childhood is when
Yeah.
we're frustrated or freaked out or having anxiety or something.
yeah. So we both made that sound, and we're just like, wait,
Wait a minute.
you know what that's from. And then the more real question is, I didn't get into video games much until I was a bit older. Like my first console was the GameCube. That was mine. And then my brother had like an Xbox. So he had the cool big brother games, and I played a lot of Super Mario Sunshine and Luigi's Mansion. And I always wanted Chibi Robo growing up. I didn't play it as much, but I saw it in a Blockbuster, and I was just like, that one. But like those are probably the biggest games is Nintendo, and then when I hit about 12, as all kids do, I found Halo. And that's probably the biggest thing that influenced me. It was just playing a lot of Halo, not really online, so I'm not about that life.
Not about that grind.
No, but like playing Halo and seeing good game design, storytelling, multiplayer stuff with your friends, that like if you
Mhm.
see people from that era, it's really big tell
Yeah.
on how they interact.
And it's so different because I never had that because like I grew up in a place where no, I couldn't get online with an Xbox. I didn't have an Xbox. I went from my PlayStation to a PS2 and a GameCube.
Yeah.
So I played a lot of like single player, but then I got really into open world games like Grand Theft Auto 3 changed my life too. Like that was amazing. And then I started getting into more hack and slash stuff after Devil May Cry came out and survival horror and
Yeah.
Silent Hill and of course Metal Gear Solid right around that time too.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
I had a very solitary gaming experience versus yours.
well, that's when I got older. In the interim, it was my brother had a Dreamcast, so I played Shenmue, and we had an N64, which he traded for a PS1. It was weird.
Yeah.
So I played like Zelda and stuff, and Seaman was in my life.
Seaman.
We had the mic, we had everything. It was, and then I played a lot of Sonic. So I was a little Sonic kid. I wasn't a Sonic.
I mean, I was
Kid.
a big Sonic kid. I
You
wrote
were
a
a
lot
Sonic
of
kid.
Sonic fan fiction when I was 12.
I just thought Sonic was
It's
cool.
a lot of embarrassing Sonic fan fiction.
But I mean, if after a while, it sounds like we're kind of just like generic. Like,
Yeah.
the big names, but we have those weird little ones in there,
Yeah.
like Pac-Man,
And
Pac-Man
Mr.
2,
Domino.
and Mr. Domino.
Okay, and what would you say your favorite game and/or games now?
Psychonauts, hands down.
Yeah.
Hands down.
Hunter's obsessed with Psychonauts.
It's so good. It's
You should see the shrine in our bedroom. It's something else. It's made out of meat.
Meat circus.
I mean, mine's probably Metal Gear Solid 4. I know that's not the popular answer for which Metal Gear Solid game is the best, but no, it's 4. Something about 4 hits me thematically about, that whole idea of becoming old and useless and the world moving on past you because you can no longer keep up with it. It's real existential shit, but also like the gameplay's amazing. So
I'm 13. I'm sad about death, but guns.
well, I was not I wasn't 13 when that game came out. It was 2008.
No.
when Metal Gear Solid 4 came out?
That was 2006.
Here's a fight we always have. When did a game come out? It came out in
Yeah.
2008. I was 17 years old.
I mean, okay.
And we're both usually wrong about what year it came
Yeah,
out.
it probably came out in 2007, and you're just like, okay.
But
And then right now, I've been deep in Wolfenstein for each of the games. I'm super excited for the next one. And then I'm on and off on Destiny.
I always play, like, my go-to game right now is City Skylines. Like that, I have perfected my art in that game. That and The Sims. I really
A lot of
like.
Sims.
I just when I play games now, I use it as a way just to kind of cool down. So I like something where I can just like, here's your, here's your, bag of blocks. Make whatever you want. There's no pressure to do
Yeah.
anything unless I put my own pressure on.
And then
So-
you play Civ and you
and then
stress
I
out.
play Civ, and that's when I want pressure, and then I get angry.
Yeah. But you don't quit.
But I don't quit. I don't quit. I'm not a quitter.
Okay, and like, how would you like? What is your channel specifically?
So the channel, the idea for it, the whole idea of channel 1990X is that. So Hunter and I are both really weird. I think we've established that already, but
Mhm. Maybe not outwardly.
maybe not outwardly, but definitely like on the inside, it's
Yeah.
kind of freaky. So channel 1990X is kind of like where we throw all of our ideas at, and right now it really is just streaming while we're in this kind of audience building
Yeah.
phase. So for the most part, we're just streaming let's plays, and we really don't have a lot of time to do it too, because we both work real world jobs.
Yeah.
But we do always guarantee, so 2 times a month we do a show called Video Games in Space, where we play dumber versions of ourselves, and we play whatever video games are notable, and fun,
Yeah.
and give things kind of a first look. And as part of our audience building this summer, we've been going through Hunter's first Pokemon game, so we've been doing a lot of bonus streams for the next couple weeks, partially to grow that audience, but also because we're going to go on a hiatus in a couple weeks, and we want to like not starve people of content.
Yeah.
So we're trying to give them just a little something extra to hold them over, and we'll release more stuff on YouTube and all that.
Yeah.
But the idea is to take it past streaming and go more into video essays, audio dramas, pretty much like whatever weird stuff we think of. Hunter is a big film person, and I'm a writer by trade, so we are people that like to tell stories, and we'd like to be channel 1990X to be just that platform. So
Yeah.
it's gaming related because we've been big gamers our whole lives, but I think we want to expand that someday.
Yeah, like it's not just a branding thing. Like, we do want it to be a channel. Like, you can tune in and see something completely different. It might be in the same vein. So if you like the streams, you might like the audio drama because it's kind of the same energy.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it can be very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like straight up like HBO or FX or anything that isn't formulaic in what they create.
I mean, I would say our biggest influence is probably Adult Swim in the 90s, where they were kind of just like throwing whatever they could up on the TV at night and seeing what was interesting.
Yeah. Or early thousands, technically.
Well, in the 90s, like Cartoon Planet days.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I think, like, kind of pre-Adult Swim.
Yeah, where they just throw stuff on the wall and see how it goes.
Yeah, and it's always weird.
It's always weird. Space Ghost is by and large our biggest influence. Like, I'll just say it right now.
Yeah.
It's if you see where we're trying to go, just watch Space Ghost.
Yeah.
And
There's your
there you
preview.
go.
Just pull up some little Cartoon Planet skits
Yeah.
on YouTube, and
Yeah,
it's where we're headed someday.
it's not why we're in space.
It's not why we're in space. We're just in space because that was an easy gimmick.
Yeah,
It was an easy gimmick for the green screen.
it's mostly aliens, actually.
Yeah, and we like aliens.
But yeah, that's the channel. Ramble.
Okay. So yeah, we gave you the idea to just one day go ahead and make it.
Well, Hunter was the one that started it. I think like the first time, like, so Hunter's always been like doing streaming and stuff. Like he was with Visnomatic before he and I started dating.
Mhm.
And he had his own little couch show back in the day for
Yeah.
it. And he just kind of wanted to do it with me one day. So when we were still long distance, I was visiting, and you just wanted to figure it out and do it. So we did it, and we sat on beanbags and tried to play Metal Gear Solid, and you sucked at trying to beat Psycho Mantis. So
It
we
was
quit.
hard. It was hard, okay? Like,
He
whatever.
didn't have the thermal goggles, so he
Yeah,
couldn't
because
fucking
you
do it.
cucked me. You didn't tell me where they were.
So that's how it started, and it wasn't really a serious thing, more of let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
But then I moved in with him 3 years ago now. And that's when we were like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just try to get a show off the ground. Let's do video games in space. And with everything we learned doing video games in space, and starting to grow our audience and seeing our regulars and stuff, that really gave us the encouragement to push and start to work on some of our background initiatives that we're gonna hopefully see the light of day soon.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Sooner rather than later.
I don't know, do you have anything else to add? Like what made you want to do this?
Thought it was cool. Like,
I mean, I did it because
was-
I've been partially employed since I've lived with Hunter, so I need something to do all day or I'll go crazy.
I mean, in my head, nothing really changed. I've always kind of just streamed because I thought it was neat. And it's neat trying to get everything to work the way that I want it to, instead of just throwing something up and just saying, okay, it's good. I never wanted that. I wanted something that I could be proud of, and something that people would be like, oh, that looks good.
Going a little bit more than that extra step, like not just being a gamer in the bottom right corner with the chat on the screen, like trying to do something a little bit
something
more
that
with higher production values.
And I mean, I've been doing it since before OBS, since before anything. Like, God, how did I do it?
I don't know how you did.
There was this
I can't
weird
even
little
figure it
program
out.
that I used to back in the day that was like, it was like FM Show or something. It was super, super bare bones. It basically let me get something online. And then I did stuff with the Adobe encoder, and then OBS came out and it changed everything. And then OBS Studio, and like, ugh. So that's why I do it. I just like messing with it and getting it going and continuing. So that's the reason. Entertaining is why I do it, but also just making it work is very neat.
And I've always just been interested in the entertainment industry and doing something cool and different. And I figure streaming's a good place to do it. It's really accessible. So even for someone like me who's, I don't have like any kind of technical background in this kind of stuff, it's still been interesting to see how much I can teach myself and learn and move forward. I can edit videos now.
The fact that you can just jump in now is tremendous.
Yeah.
I do like that. On the other hand, maybe not everybody should be allowed. But that's not me being defeatist. It's more a criticism of some of the bigger people and what people latch on to. It's just
careful with that tea, Hunter. It's hot.
I know. But
I mean, it's the whole Andy Warhol 15 minutes of fame. He predicted everybody would have their moment, and that technology would make everything so accessible. So I think that's what I find fascinating about it, and that's why I was like, okay, let's do it.
Yeah. So fun is what it boils down to.
Yep.
Okay, so how do you set up the streams the way you do as someone who knows nothing about any of that?
Oh God.
So if you don't know anything, first step is
to rent an apartment with more space than you think you need.
Yeah.
The first thing is to pay more in rent.
Yeah, you need more space.
Because we need a whole room to do this.
Yeah. For our setup is too big. We learned from an asshole.
Yeah, no, we picked the worst person to do it. And I will say though, Hunter has it more lean than the unmentioned gamer who we are copying
that
has ever had it.
That memer with the hat.
That man whose hat I stole back in Texas 2 years ago.
But if you know nothing, step one is just
have space.
Have a decent computer. And then we do it with OBS Studio. I've tried Slobs. I've tried XSplit. OBS is just what I like the most. It's the most customizable. It's not as user-friendly as you would hope. That's what Streamlabs OBS tries to fix. But OBS, it's constantly adding more, and the community adds more. So that leads into we upgraded to a nicer camera. I have 2 Elgato cam links. I use one as a capture card for the camera and one for the TV. You need some studio lights. We have 2 for right now, but we probably need some more. And then I have a soundboard with our lav mics that I have to tweak. That goes into a USB interface. So basically turns my soundboard into a microphone. And then that feeds on to Twitch.
It's a lot of wires.
There's a lot
all
of
over the
wires.
floor.
I made it clean.
He made it pretty clean, but it's a lot of things going on.
So it's not easy if you know absolutely nothing. At this point, it is as easy as I turn on the camera, I open up OBS and click go. Unless I've been messing with it, and I'm always messing with it.
Yeah, and that's not to say anything of all the extra work that I put in doing graphics and layout and all that other asset creation stuff that we do. So you have to have an asset team.
Yeah.
To make all your stuff look good.
Yeah. So the stream is 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 layers. Because there's the star, there's the spaceship, there's the TV, the camera, and then the chat. So those are all separate things inside of OBS layered on top of one each other. And it's just making sure all that is going smoothly. I invested into a, it sounds like an Elgato sponsored. They just make good stuff. I have an Elgato Stream Deck that I've started to use, which makes this 10 times easier. Because I just click buttons for transitions and recording and tweets.
Yeah, I would say if you're starting out as a streamer, a Stream Deck is really great because sometimes I will do streams from my computer and I have like the smallest one, and honestly just having like the extra 6 buttons that are customizable is already like made things so much easier on my end.
So starting from nothing, just have a camera, have a game. I know we make fun of gamer in the corner, but if you're just starting, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's
we make fun of
fine.
gamer in the corner for people that should know better.
Yeah, for people
People that make a lot of money.
Yeah, that weren't from the beginning, because if you were doing gamer in the corner since the beginning, you're fine too.
Yeah.
But it's just have a camera, have a game, and then just go. And then you add and add and add and add.
Yeah, you just keep building on what you have, and eventually it's gonna hit that sweet spot of like, okay, this is what I actually do want to present to the world.
Yeah, because in the grand scheme, I haven't spent that much money. I've probably spent about
He hasn't spent that much money. He says.
$800 to $900 total, but that's half of it's the camera, because we bought the
That's
Lumix
true.
G7. Great camera if you want a cheap 4K. It is. Mwah. But like, if you have a little bit of money and you want to put into it, you can make stuff super high quality.
Yeah. It doesn't take as much as you would think it does.
Used to. But
And you can get stuff on sale, you can get stuff cheap, you can get stuff from Alibaba, like you can figure it out on your budget.
So it's just a lot of fiddling.
It's fiddling, and of course everything breaks 5 minutes before the stream's
so
about
that's
to start.
that's how we stream.
That's how you stream.
A lot of little tweaks, a lot of making sure that it works.
And then it breaks
trying
5 minutes before you start.
And then it breaks, and then you're like, why did it break? And then you fix it, and then nothing happens for like the 5 hours that you stream, and then you do it again, and then it breaks, and then you don't know what happened, and then it fixes itself, and then you're good.
Okay. So, who do the two of you think won E3 2019?
In terms of presentation, Devolver. Always Devolver. Hands down, they're the best. In terms of content given,
I'd say Nintendo for content.
Yeah.
Nintendo had the best stuff. I feel like the E3 lineup, at least for us, was very underwhelming this year. Honestly, the best part about E3 was our first E3 show that we did.
It was funny.
Because it was funny, but it went on for way too long, and we almost died. So...
I didn't know the pre-show was 12 hours long. I thought it was a bit, and then it just kept going,
and then we did our own bit. And now it's our most highest rated video on YouTube, which is frankly embarrassing.
It's great.
So, no, I'd say Nintendo won. Nintendo is the stuff that I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
So,
Nintendo is what I'm excited about. Microsoft piqued my interest, but in terms of E3, I don't care about Gears that much.
And the only Sony thing I care about at all these days is Death Stranding.
Yeah,
and that they did that before E3. Yeah. I like Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. No,
but that's because I'm a straight woman, so that's why I like Keanu Reeves.
So, I mean, Xbox was Xbox, but because everybody else was so blah, that's why I liked them. But in terms of stuff I was excited about, Nintendo got me the most.
Yeah.
So, by default, Nintendo, but at E3 with a live conference, Microsoft.
Okay. So, what game would you say you're looking forward to the most in either the rest of this year or sometime next year?
The Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah. Actually, the more I think about
the more we think about it, the more like
it needs to come out.
We need that Goose Game.
And I want it to be called the Untitled Goose Game.
So that's what we're really excited about. But I mean, we have our own stuff we're excited about. I'm getting the baby from Death Stranding. I have
Yeah.
that pre-ordered, so
Just getting the $200 baby suitcase edition.
I'm gonna put it right next to the TV, so everybody who comes into our apartment will see it.
Well, they'll see the baby.
They're gonna see that baby, and I'm not gonna explain it to non-gamers.
So that's one I'm also very, very excited about. And then in the short term, I'm really, really excited about Wolfenstein.
I'm really excited about Fire Emblem in the short term. Like, we both have games coming out next week that we're excited about,
Yeah.
and then not really too much after that.
Not
Like,
a
there's
lot.
stuff that's way far out that you're interested in, like Psychonauts 2 and stuff.
Psychonauts 2, we're probably going to pick up Luigi's Mansion 2.
Oh yeah,
Because that comes out
3.
on Halloween.
It's Luigi's Mansion 3.
No one talks about the second.
We're just gonna forget that exists. We're just
Yeah.
gonna forget the 3DS ever existed.
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff we're gonna play. Like, I'm gonna play the new Pokemon games despite all the controversy. I know myself. So
It's a
like,
Pokemon game. It'll be fine. All the gym leaders are hot.
that's
and
the
it's
only
great.
reason anybody over the age of 12 buys it, is because the gym leaders are hot.
Yeah.
So like,
I mean, that is true.
so
Yeah, exactly.
so
And like,
so your Poke waifu might not be in it. There's tons of Pokemon waifus for you.
you'll have a new waifu. It'll be fine.
They just made that cream thing. Okay,
No,
people
it's a
can
baby.
you people can do whatever you want with the cream Pokemon.
It's also the best gym theme, period.
yeah, it's a pretty sick gym theme.
That it's the best one. Like, I love it. But
So-
yeah, I mean, there's definitely stuff that I'm forgetting about. There's just so many games. There's so many just.
I feel like there's so many games that I'm mildly interested in, but not one that I'm just like, oh my
Oh,
god,
God, yeah.
I need it.
Well, it's 'cause we
Except
got-
for Death Stranding.
we got burned by Fallout.
Yeah, okay, so if you're not caught up to speed, Hunter and I and Chris from Visnomatic and his girlfriend Ash, we have played more Fallout 76 than any other person in the world. We have put an embarrassing number of hours into that game.
For not being over level 40.
And we're not over level 40, and we're all bad at the game. And we never have fun while we're playing. All we do is yell at each other the
Yeah.
whole time.
But we've easily put in like either 100 or 200 hours. And for putting in that much time and us not being over level 40, should attest that it's actually kind of fun. Like,
It's fun if you have the right people to play with,
Yes.
but not the Battle Royale mode. That was
No.
not fun.
a lot of people like it.
A lot
though.
of people
That's why
like
it didn't
it,
go
but-
away. It's why that beta is indefinite.
But
So,
it made me anxious
I
the
didn't
whole
like it.
time.
I don't like Battle Royale. That's not a hot take. I just don't like the genre.
You just don't like. I like it. I'm picky about it.
And whatever. It's fine.
So
Okay,
Yeah.
now we move on to the final and most easily universally understood question on this facade of a show. So, in your opinion, is video games?
Maybe.
maybe
Well, I mean,
it depends on who you ask.
yeah, is video game.
Is video game?
Is video game?
Is video game? Well, maybe.
See, that's why maybe. It's everybody, if you walk up to like Sam on the street and you're like, is video game? He'd be like, huh? And then keep
Yeah.
on walking.
I can't say no.
Yeah.
You can't say is video game no, because
Is video game.
is video game. There's always that possibility.
Yeah.
We're optimists at heart. Really, we are.
Yeah.
Despite how weird our channel gets and how pessimistic we are, and
It's optimistically pessimistic.
Yeah. it's pure nihilism.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that feeling when you listen to the song from the end of Evangelion where everybody's popping off into, orange juice.
Mhm.
Except you listen to it without all the sad stuff, but you still feel really sad inside.
But then you listen to the lyrics, and it's all just about, hey, I should kill myself because I suck. And you're like, okay, ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. And it's a great
and
song.
it's like, nah, life is worth living because you know what? Why not?
Everything I love is on Earth.
Yeah. Is video game.
Is video game. So maybe.
Okay.
But in my
That
heart.
brings us to the conclusion of this particular episode of the Pumpkin Copter Cast. I'd like to thank Hunter and Eleanor for joining me.
Welcome.
You're welcome. We were happy to come.
Yes.
If any of the -7 people listening to this enjoyed it, you can like and subscribe. If you want to give me a money, you can go to patreon.com/thepumpkincoptercast.
Yeah.
And yes, what anything you two want to plug before we sign off?
So you can pledge to us on Patreon as well. That's channel 1990X. We also do take tips on our Ko-fi account. So if you just want to do a one-time thing, that's always cool. But the best way to support us is to come to our shows. They are live every other week on Twitch, twitch.com or twitch.tv.
Yeah. Twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv/channel 1990X, AOL keyword 1990X.
Yeah. If we get mad at Twitch, we'll also be at mixer.com/channel 1990X. They're everything 1990X or Reposeful Tube. That's probably us.
Yeah, that's probably us.
So just follow.
Follow us on Twitter. It's channel 1990X on Twitter, and that you'll always know what's going on.
Yeah, and then we'll try to post more sick memes.
Yeah, more memes.
We promise you won't get gnomed. Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
Thank you.
That's all we got. Don't fuck dogs.
No.
Okay, and this has been the Pumpkin Copter Cast, only video game show. And as I've always said since the show started, have a gourd day.